TF2 has a lot of weapons, and I mean a lot. But a lot of that lot isn't greatly balanced, so I've compiled a list of weapons I think need changing and have henceforth corrected them. Starting off, we have the Darwin's Danger Shield. It went from annoying to just annoying again. Flat fire resistance is just lame and uninteresting, so I thought to rework it into something entirely new. Give 30% damage resistance to all attacks from behind. Obviously wouldn't protect against spies, but it can help in desperate situations when needing to escape, but not allowing the sniper to fight back either. Buffed. Then there is the Sandwich. This thing is really strong, but so strong that most heavies don't use the shotgun, to the point that people think that using the shotgun is all just trying to be Fat Scout, when it's just the heavy who uses his entire loadout. So I thought to expand his loadout, giving the Sandwich its own loadout slot so heavy can use both at the same time. Buffed. Moving on to the Kritzkrieg. It's good, but all too often you die during an Uber, so I thought to make it so you have a 30% damage resistance during an Uber. Nothing much, but more to keep you alive as you go on your exciting rampage. Buffed. The Classic. Often seen too much as a meme weapon when it honestly could be really cool. While not needing to be scoped to actually land a headshot, what if it was sped up while scoped? You temporarily sacrifice visibility with it to get some faster charge, then unscope for the final shot. It keeps it as the rifle that needs to be fully charged, but gives you more agency over your tunnel vision. Buffed. The Red Tape Recorder. The only other item in Spy Sapper slot, and no, reskins don't count. The red tape is okay and has some niche tech, but its overall usage rate is low. So what if, simply put, it didn't alert the engineer when placed? This means the engineer needs to pay just a bit more attention to what's going on with his buildings so that he doesn't have the nest sneak destroyed by a red tape spy. As with Spy as a whole, the main counter to it would be being aware of your surroundings. Buffed. The Diamondback. This thing is just straight up busted. You get crits for just playing Spy the way you normally would. Full crits are too much, so I thought to instead replace the crits with mini crits. Keep it at a more reasonable level and allow things like the Ambi or Enforcer higher damage potential. Buffed. The Huntsman. It's known that the hitboxes on this thing are scuffed, so simply put, fix them. Right now it works on a thing of hitting the projectile hitbox and teleporting to the nearest bullet hitbox, but instead it should be changed to check once inside the projectile hitbox if it's actually colliding with a hit scan hitbox. If not, the arrow will pass right through. This would fix the annoying gamble of fighting a Huntsman sniper. Buffed. The Thompson. This thing is sad, the poster child of a bad weapon. So, buff its projectile speed and damage, however, remove the bit reducing Spy's Cloak and Medic Uber. If this weapon were actually good, that part of it might get a bit annoying, so it's like the Rescue Ranger but better in combat. Buffed. The Direct Hit. A decent weapon, but I think it should lean even further into the whole namesake. Remove the blast damage entirely, but massively increase projectile speed, to the point it's basically hit scan. In short, I want to turn the direct hit into a straight up railgun. That stuff's cool, right? I know we have the actual railgun in the sense of the Machina, but I want a bigger one. So let's make the direct hit even more direct hit. Buffed. The Back Scratcher. This one is okay, but rarely used, but it's a rake. So instead, let's give it a special ability to be placed on the ground as a trap. The first enemy to walk over it will get hit in the face and flung back. Could be a good way to set a trap to throw people off of cliffs, even some counterplay to Uber. And hey, that works well on Pyro since Pyro is already good at moving people around and stuffing Ubers. The downside is that doing so gets rid of your melee for a bit. Buffed. The Quick Fix is considered by skilled players to be the worst minigun in pubs, so let's turn it into the Quicker Fix. Buff the heal rate by 50% to add even more value to the medic's heals. As right now, crit heals are still so strong that they can outpace non-crit Quick Fix when managed correctly. Buffed. The Battalion's backup is okay, but let's make it a bit more unique. It looks like a radio, so let's make it that on activation it pings nearby enemies for the user's team, highlighting them in the same way you get from post-spawn wall hacks. This would give a new way to play as a team, as Soldier. Buffed. The half Satoichi is cool, but it could be cooler. How about giving it a damage penalty, but pressing middle mouse allows the user to activate a short omnidirectional dash? Would allow for some cool movement tech and make duels with this thing even more intense and cool to watch. Buffed. The Rocket Jumper could also lean even more into the jumping. Give it increased airspeed to really go flying around the map, but make the user able to take full damage from walls or ceilings if they hit those especially hard. Not too much, but enough to make the skill ceiling higher. Buffed. The sniper rifle. There's a big debate right now over whether sniper is overpowered and ruins the game. I don't really buy into that, even after playing heavy for a good few months when making the second How to Man episode, but he is my least favorite class and I'll admit there's some ground to it. So I thought, what if we give the sniper rifle bullet fall off? Not damage fall off, I mean making the projectile fall over distances. It would still instantly travel, just in an arc instead of a straight line, though it would only start falling after a certain distance. This would also increase the skill cap of playing sniper. Buffed. Mad Milk. It's cool but gross. It's described as a non-milk substance, which, I suggest changing it into an actual milk substance so it can actually be drunk and enjoyed. Buffed. Bootlegger. It's just a clone of the booties, and I think that's uninteresting. So let's buff it by increasing the effect of its damage resistances, but give the demo a random chance to trip and die instantly. They also lose the ability to ascend stairs. Buffed. The Kunai. While health on kill is fun, it's annoying in a PvP game, so I propose removing its ability to chain stab, disabling the knife for 10 seconds on kill, but increase base max health from 70 to 100, and give 210 max health upon any kill. Buffed. The Razorback. I find it interesting, but many do rightfully disagree with me, and say it's just an annoying anti-spy weapon. So let's fix it. Let's make it so when stabbed, it explodes, killing both the sniper and the spy. Buffed. The Your Eternal Reward. It disguises you as your target on kill, which enables some interesting stealth tactics. But honestly, let's change that. Keep all the downsides, but remove the upside and replace them with something new. Give the spy a mana bar and allow him to throw cards at teammates to heal them. This would fit very well within Spy's gameplay. Buffed. The Spicicle. It's okay and thankfully not too annoying to fight against, but it isn't used much. So I propose increasing the fire immunity from 1 second to 3 seconds, but to counterbalance that buff, make it so that it will also melt if held out in the sun for too long. Buffed. The Eureka Effect. This is my personal favorite engineer wrench. The silly stuff you can do with the teleportation is great, but I do think it's a bit too punishing to use in a pinch. So I thought about buffing the speed that the teleport activates. To counter this, add a small chance to instead teleport the engineer into a space beyond time. Buffed. The Almighty Fists of Steel. Now it's a cool idea, but could use more. It fits right in with the MVM robots, so how about having it give the ability to summon MVM robots for your team? However, being made of pure steel, are so heavy that the heavy can't move while they're equipped. Buffed. Now we have the TF2 soldier. He's strong, but he could be stronger, so let's make him more buff. Buffed. The Homewrecker. My least favorite unlock in the entire game, as it completely screws up one of my favorite matchups in the entire game. So I thought about just removing its existing upsides, and because it's a sledgehammer, allow it to destroy and deform map geometry, which could give the pyro new ways to ambush people. Don't worry, making the maps fully destructible won't be that hard to program. Buffed. The Wrangler. Many call this overpowered, and while I like the idea, I'd agree. Let's remove its ability to control the sentry entirely because it's just too strong. Instead, allowing it to be used to cool down devastating nuclear airstrikes. The Girati. The Vaccinator. It's complex, but really annoying to fight, and I would agree, it needs a rebalance. Being able to protect targets against the most reliable sources of damage with easily popped bubbles is a huge pain outside of the most coordinated teams. Being the Vaccinator, it should give your healed target autism. Should the target already be autistic, they'll level up. Buffed. The Market Gardener. This thing is a blast to use, but it's really annoying when you hit someone only to realize they're a heavy or a soldier, and simply survive what should basically be an airborne spy. Spy's backstab is a guaranteed kill, and that's not fair on Trojan when it's basically the same thing. So I suggest giving it 1000 damage while airborne, however that might just be a bit strong, so make it that you fly upwards at great speed the instant you pull it out. Also honor bound, can't be put away once pulled out. Buffed. The Gru. This thing used to be top tier, but kinda nerfed into the ground in Jungle Inferno. It just needs some pizzazz. So the Gru now gives you the ability to steal the moon, however, it makes you a very mean person. Buffed. The Cow Mangler. A fun gimmick but otherwise uninteresting. It overall needs a buff to make it more universally useful across all maps and game modes. So now it has a 100% damage bonus, but only in maps that have cows in them. Buffed. The Mantreads. A staple of flying through the air, but honestly gives the soldier too much mobility. It's too scary. Now, they make your wife leave you. Single people and gay men are immune to this. Buffed. The Southern Hospitality is very uninteresting, so let's rework it entirely. Its name is now the Bacon Connoisseur, and after a certain number of kills, he will appear.
They're coming for you, dude. They know you have flybys, bro. They're gonna get you. Shout out to user hee hee ha ha hoo hee, and my good friend Michael. To the owner of a 2008 Toyota Corolla, the car has been eaten. Can I get 2 cheese pizzas, please?
The Holiday Punch is great at stuffing Ubers, but is otherwise seen as a joke weapon for farming taunt kills. We need to be really careful to buff it without sacrificing its identity. So now, the Heavy pulls out a revolver and instantly kills the enemy. Buffed. The L'Étranger. Buffed. The Pirate is great at crowd control, but suffers too much from range issues and is made fun of too much. To fix this, we will swap their gender. Buffed. The Enforcer. Bleed for 8 seconds.